Welcome back to Positive Living with Lolo. I am Lolo, and today I have with me DJ Wavey Moe.
What's going on? What's going on?
So we're really just here to talk about life today. We recently just started following each other on social media, and he saw the episode that I had did by myself, and he reached out to me and he was like, "What's up? We should link." I'm like, "Cool." So we linked up Friday, and it was dope. We got to talk about some stuff, like vulnerability. Got to hear about the Chuck E. Cheese story. So we should talk about that.
Definitely gonna give you the other side of Wavey Moe. A lot of people don't get to see.
Yeah. So one of the things that we talked about is that he does stuff, but he's more of the funny guy. He's not like the I'm gonna share all my problems with you type of person. And he's the one that everybody comes to for their problems. And so we talked kind of about, who do we go to when we're the ones that everybody goes to. And so we're just going to talk about the other side of him, the side that a lot of people, I guess, don't really get to know because it's more so they get to know you as a DJ or the funny guy or the guy they work with or whatever. So,
you get to see the other side of the spectrum.
Yay, thank you for coming.
Thank you for
having me. Let's talk a little bit about your DJing. You just recently started DJing, right?
Yeah, about 3 years ago started DJing. It was a big step for me. Really, to be honest with you, I've never even really talked about this, but I could say this is the first decision that I made without considering anybody else with this decision.
Yeah.
Because usually I consider what would my family think? What would my friends think? Nah, I had to be selfish, do something for myself.
Yeah. And were you always into DJing, or how did you get into even being able to make up that decision on your own?
Well, I was always around music. So I remember in high school I used to make the bootleg CDs for everybody.
Okay.
So you burn that Lil Wayne CD off of that piff,
right.
And burn it, sell them for $2-3
yeah.
a person, and then in my later years, how I got into DJing was through my brother who owns Corporate Sneaker Boutique, Matt. We got into an argument about music. And so we had an ox battle that Saturday at Corporate.
True.
And one of my friends, who's a promoter, happened to come in and said, "Hey, do you want to become a DJ? I think you'll be pretty good at it." Gave it a little bit of thought, and the next couple of weeks made my decision. So that's the origin story.
That's dope.
Through an ox battle.
That's dope. And so you kind of told me a little bit about that decision when we had talked, and with you saying you didn't really consider anybody else, your family did not like that decision.
Oh yeah, Mom was pissed off.
And still?
She's still a little bit shaky of it.
Yeah.
Mainly.
But let's talk about why.
Why she's upset.
Because she's mom and she cares.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of just it.
Yeah.
Or is it deeper than that? Because it's really she's just worried about you and your safety while being a DJ and being out in clubs and late at night and
that's
equipment, having money on you.
Yeah, that's a big concern.
Yeah. So we can't be mad at them.
Yeah, can't be mad.
What about the rest of your family? Do they support it or?
My grandparents really don't care.
Yeah.
I'm my grandmother's favorite grandchild, so I can get away with anything with her. And then my granddad is as long as you're making honest money,
right?
He doesn't care.
True. Respect.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about your grandparents a little bit. You told me the other day, you got to hug them.
Yeah, that was a weird exchange. Just because I come from a family that we discuss or they show love by their actions. They don't necessarily say, "I love you all the time" or give you affection. Mm-hmm. So they might buy you something that you've always wanted, and that's their way of showing you, "I love you." Mm-hmm. So when I went over to my grandparents' house because I go every Sunday, do chores for them, make sure they're good because my grandparents are in their 90s. I don't know what really compelled it, but just went over there, gave my grandma a hug before I left, gave my granddad a hug, got to my car, and I'm just like, I can't remember the exact last time I hugged my grandparents. Like, it might have been a decade or so. Like,
and that's so crazy though. And you see him every week.
Yeah.
So now that you've been processing that for a while, like, what do you feel? Are you gonna, today is Monday? So you went there yesterday. Did you hug them again?
No, so I did end up going yesterday. I wasn't feeling the best yesterday, so I didn't want to project that energy onto them. Because I'm big on, if I'm feeling a certain way, I don't want to be around somebody and give that negative energy off on someone. So they're older, they don't need that negative energy. They're dealing with their own personal issues. So I kind of kept to myself. But next Sunday when I go over there, I'm gonna hug them again.
That's dope. I love that.
I'm gonna hug them again. It was a good feeling. It was like the Grinch, how his heart just grew.
Yeah.
But I'm not a mean person though. But
yeah.
My heart
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And so, like, are you and your mom affectionate, or your dad or your siblings? You guys don't hug each other, or?
No.
Okay.
No.
But so you are with your friends.
Yeah.
You hug your friends.
I hug all my friends.
Okay. So let's talk about that. Why don't you feel comfortable? Like, why don't you feel comfortable hugging your family? Because I don't want to put it like that. But like, why? How did you become so affectionate with your friends and stuff, but you're still not with your family?
To be honest with you, is
it just them?
It's just how it's always been, and I've never fought against the grain too much of the family.
But you never asked, like, hey, why don't we hug?
No, I've never questioned it. I'm just like, all right, love you, have a good one. And we just kind of go about our business, like if it's me and mom or myself and my older brother, we just kind of, all right, love you, see you later, or talk to you later. Sometimes we don't even say I love you. Every time we see each other, it's just like, all right, see you later. But that's just, I'm trying to break the mold.
Right. So we also talked about that, of like having the discussion of breaking that chain of, the continuous cycle of whatever you grew up on, however they grew up.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, what is the cycle that you're looking to break for your family to create into what you are building?
Well, what I'm trying to do is show that same affection through actions, but also incorporating the physical aspect of a hug and telling you I love you.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to do, incorporate all three of those things into one and not just showing just one.
Right.
Because you'll have the people who will say they love you but don't show it in their actions because they treat you terribly, or you have the people who show you in their actions that they love you but don't confirm that with a hug or telling you that. So I want to be able to cover all those bases.
Right. But what brought you to feeling like that? Like, because people say like you're a product of your environment or whatever, and so for you to be different and break that, like what brought you to feeling like that was something that you needed to change and you needed to add into your life?
Well, I guess it could be a combination of a lot of things, because I was giving thought to it, trying to think about it, and it's just the way that I was raised, having compassion for people, and then also dealing with personal stuff that I've went through that I might not have necessarily discussed with everybody, and seeing, hey, maybe this person's treating me bad because they're going through something. Because a lot of times hurt people.
Right.
And when you find out what's going on with them, then it's like, everything clicks, and it's like, okay, this is why you're acting this way. Whether
Right.
it was me growing up getting bullied in a sense, or getting talked about, because I think that had a factor to do with my compassion too. Because it's like nobody wants to be treated badly.
Right.
And what's the golden rule? Do unto others as you would,
Right.
want yourself to be treated. So I try to practice that in everything that I do.
Right.
So.
But is that something that your parents taught you? Like, did they like preach that to you growing up, or?
Yeah, definitely. My mom was pretty strict, so definitely learned a lot of that from her. And then with my grandparents, because really my grandparents raised me. Because my mom was working 2-3 jobs trying to take care of me and my brother. So a lot of what made me is my grandparents and their old school style of teaching and picking up a Bible and telling me to do this if I'm being bad reading whatever scripture was like, oh, you need to do this. And it's kind of funny looking back in hindsight now what adults consider bad.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's just a kid being a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And we talked about that too, of how it's interesting, like how each individual parents can try to parent the same way with each kid, but each person is so individual and so just like themselves that you can't parent everybody the same.
Exactly.
So you can literally have 2 kids in the same household and you have to learn how to parent them differently.
Yeah, because that was a big thing as well. I think with my mom, she was trying to raise me like my brother. My brother was probably the easiest person to raise because he could do something wrong one time, not get in trouble for years, do something else, not get in trouble. And he'll learn his lesson after the one time. Me, I'm the kind of person, I got whooped every day. It did absolutely nothing.
Right.
Like, you could beat me with a belt senseless. I'm still going to do what I was doing before. The way that I learned was I had to hurt myself and learn from the action to not do it, or you had to take something from me. And the feeling of losing something that you really care about is such a terrible feeling that's what got me in line most of the time. So
at what age did your family figure out, okay, the way we discipline him is by taking things?
It really, how can I word this? It was like somewhat figured out, but not all the way.
Yeah, okay.
Because by the time, it got to an age where it's like whippings are pointless, that's when I'm just kind of maturing myself. Like,
yeah, okay.
Trying to not be a bad kid, or what they consider a bad kid, or disturbing the peace or whatever.
Right. So let's talk about you being a bad kid and the Chuck E. Cheese story.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Chuck E. Cheese.
Just tell it to us.
So Chuck E. Cheese, big old scary gray rat. I hate that rat. I hate everything about him.
I love him.
Just come out the back, chasing me up the tunnels in the ball pit. Those were my safe spots because he couldn't get me because he was too big. So one day, I'm sitting with my mom in the booth. We're waiting for our pizza. And how they had the Chuck E. Cheese in Tri-County, they had all the birthday tables near the stage. So all these kids are jumping around Chuck E. Cheese. In my 6-year-old mind, I'm thinking they're jumping Chuck E. Cheese. So I tell my mom I'll be right back. Split through the crowd. See Chuck E. Cheese lined up. See that stomach just poking. Bow! Curled up. Chuck E. Cheese curled up. So I'm running back to my mom like I just won an NBA title or something. Like, Mom. She's like, what? She's assuming I hit like 1,000 ticket prize or something. Right. Mom, I'm not scared of Chuck E. Cheese anymore. Oh, that's great. That's amazing. Like, I'm glad you got over your fear. Yeah, I knocked him out. She was like, you did what? Yeah, I knocked him out. Look at him over there. He knocked out. And that was probably the worst whooping I ever got when I got home. And then she was like, you gonna go over to Chuck E. Cheese and apologize. So when Chuck E. Cheese came back out, you know, I was walking over, bottom lip poking him. Sorry, Chucky, and apologized. And Chuck E. Cheese just kind of waved me off. So yeah, that's my Chuck E. Cheese story.
Have you been to Chuck E. Cheese since?
Yeah, I have.
It's dope.
Yeah, you know, I took one of my friend's kids to Chuck E. Cheese, but they ain't got the ball pit anymore though.
I know,
Or
it's
the
crazy.
tunnels, yeah.
I know, but it's probably a good thing because that's
Sanitary
just
reasons, but in the 90s they weren't worried about all those germs.
They weren't. They really weren't because we had ball pits in every place that kids go.
Yeah, I think
every place that kids go.
Yeah, I think we have stronger immune systems too.
Yeah, because we got less vaccinations, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, like we
yeah.
we were last of the.
Yeah, it is what it is though. But I can beat anybody in the basketball game though. Turn up.
Oh, is that a challenge?
I would definitely. Anybody want to go to Chuck E. Cheese? We should all go as adults. We should just have like a bunch of adults just go to Chuck E. Cheese. Oh no, wait. Actually, we can go to Dave and Buster's for that.
Oh yeah, we got the adult version now. Dave and Buster's. Yeah. Get a drink too.
Dave and Buster's is live. They got. Oh wait, GameWorks. GameWorks has a. Oh wait, I don't know if Dave and Buster's does, but GameWorks has like a giant ass Connect 4, and I can whoop your ass in Connect 4.
All right, challenge accepted.
Okay, there's game night on. This is exciting. Okay, so let's talk about like vulnerability and what that means to you, like now as an adult growing into like somebody who's trying to like show affection by other means that you didn't grow up with, like being vulnerable with people. So you don't really want to like open up and give people your negative energy. You just said that. And so for me, I think that even when I'm having like days where I have negative energy, I have to have somebody, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That not necessarily that I can pour that negative energy into, but that like I can go and talk to and they can like lift that off of me. And not necessarily that I put it on them, but they know how to balance that for me.
Yeah.
And so you said you have pretty like one person that you really kind of do that with.
Yeah, I got one of my real close friends. Shout out to Think Savvy. She's really been a help to me. Like I've known her for years now, but we've really gotten closer once she started wanting to learn how to DJ. Mm-hmm. We were kind of working hand in hand with, you know, just showing her the basics of everything, but more or less she just always has this beautiful energy. Like it's hard to describe.
I follow her on Instagram, and I started following her because of her dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
like you can see it through her social media and just who she is and who she presents herself to be on there, that she has a beautiful spirit. So
yeah, so it's like as soon as you're like in her presence, you feel like this ooze of positivity.
That's awesome.
And it's like, you know, with her, she gives me where I'll look at something half empty, she'll give me the half full aspect. Yeah. You know, what I can do to better. Right. You know, better myself, or look at something in a different light where I might be about it. She's just like, well, look at it this way. Right. And never failed. Right. But you know that you could have like multiple people for that. Yeah. And that's just about being open and vulnerable with people. People want to know your story and be relatable to you, and people can't relate unless you're vulnerable. So what do you think about that? Yeah, I mean, I see it. I know it's kind of awkward. I can only speak for myself. With men to other men, sometimes it could be like showing that vulnerable side can be a little bit more difficult for me. Yeah. Especially if you're not like, say, my granddad or like my brother or something. But I mean, I've had moments where I did share certain things because that's what makes my friend group so close is
Right.
that we share
Right.
those moments with each other. It's just, you know, sometimes certain things I'll love a woman's perspective on.
Right.
You know,
Right.
especially hanging around guys all day, they're just gonna sometimes give you
Right.
the man's perspective, but it's like a woman's
Man.
perspective and intuition is so beautiful. Like,
Thanks.
yeah.
I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
People really try to be like, women this, women that, women are irrational, women are, like, women are amazing. We're so smart.
Life's about balance, you know.
Yeah.
Gotta give both sides.
Yeah, I feel that. So how do you think that you could be more interactive with your followers and just them getting to know who you are, like, more on like a personal level?
Well, I've been trying to do that more within the past year, more like through my YouTube page and IG.
How can we follow you on YouTube? Or like subscribe? What's the channel?
Wavey Moe. So just WAVYMOE is the YouTube, and then everything else is DJ Wavey Moe.
Okay.
So on there, you know, I might talk about like one subject matter was the Chuck E. Cheese story,
Yeah.
where I'm just like giving you a personal story.
Right.
And then one it's actually funny. It was with Alan for president, and we were talking about relationship stuff and why I was single.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, which goes deep.
Okay.
It goes deep. It tells a lot.
Okay.
So that was a 20-minute video, you know.
Okay. So we're gonna
So-
definitely have to tune into that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else are you gonna do?
I mean, as far as short-term goals, probably try to be more open with my fellow brothers
Yeah.
in general, because it has to start somewhere.
Right.
And then
It doesn't need to start online.
yeah,
Right.
it has to. If I don't feel comfortable enough
Right.
discussing everything with my friends who I consider my brothers,
Right.
why would I
Right.
put it online? So first we're gonna tackle that wall.
Right.
Then once we knock that down, we're gonna
I love that. That's super
Slowly.
exciting.
we're gonna slowly give a little,
Yeah.
you know, about my life, and maybe there might be somebody who is going through what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Struggling family life, and maybe I can be that positive influence, or maybe I say something that might make them want to.
Right. You would be surprised by like when you just feel the spirit like just tell you to say something online real quick, and it just be the smallest little like piece of advice, like how you were talking about that you wanted to get on and just tell people to just hug people you love, like just hug them and tell them that you love them. Like that little small piece of advice for somebody that day could be a whole game changer for their whole day. You know what I mean? And hearing that from you, or you know, so I feel like obviously start with your friends stuff, but if you feel it and you feel like just saying, like, you don't have to get vulnerable online, but just like if you feel it, just say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Spread the
absolutely.
message, just because that shit can really like change somebody. And you have a following. For people that are already following you, they watch your stuff. Like if you have a platform and you feel something positive, you're a positive person, and your intentions are positive, I feel like you should just say it and put it out there.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just want to challenge you to do that. You don't have to get vulnerable, but just like say, hey, hug somebody you love today. Just wanted to let you guys know I love you.
Yeah.
Thanks for supporting me. Whatever.
Yeah, because I definitely feel that way on certain days. Like if you know, because some people they'll say they pray for you, or like that's the typical thing to say. But usually, if I pray, there's somebody that pops into mind, and that's where I'll shoot off a call or leave a voicemail like, hey, we might not have talked, and I don't know how long, but you came across in my prayers. I'm thinking about you. Hope everything's going well with you, and then usually get a response back like, oh, that was nice of you, you know, for me to hear, you know, I'm doing well. How's everything with you? You know?
Right. Or you get the call of like, wow, I'm going through this, and this. How did you know that I was going through anything? Or how did you feel like I was going through anything? So it's like, you get both ends of like people really appreciating you just reaching out and saying something.
Yeah.
But it's the same with social media because there's so many negative things on there that when we get somebody who has a following and they just quickly get on there and say, hey, like, just thought about my social media family, praying for all of you to have a great day or whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever you feel, just say it. That's all I'm saying. Because you have a great, like, spirit. And I'm sure if anybody knows you, like, your energy is really good. Like, I don't feel like any type of bad energy whatsoever. So I feel like I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you to, like, start, like, talking more and being more open with people and doing more YouTube stuff. What do you have any events coming up that people can come to and stuff?
As far as events, they're
do
more.
Do you DJ weekly anywhere?
Here and there.
Okay.
I'm just busy with my 9 to 5, and then just getting music ready throughout the week, doing the radio show. So it's just.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the radio show?
Oh yeah, Ill Sonic. The best place to go to for all your musical needs. You know, we have amazing group of people from Peace from Tribe, has his own show. We just introduced college beats onto the station. DJ Zanity has her own station, and I do Monday through Friday. So, and we showcase local talent. So, you know, you might hear Fettuccine on there by a certain group that we all know and love. You might hear the Wavey Tape Volume 1, my personal project. So Volume 2 on the way. So yeah, just showcasing local talent and trying to help push the culture forward in Cincinnati.
That's dope. Where do you get that station at?
It's all online based.
Okay.
It's Ill Sonic Radio. I do keep the link in my IG bio at all times, so you can click the link in my bio. It'll take you straight to the page.
Okay.
App coming soon. Still in the works of that because there's a lot of particulars in making apps. So
yeah, and a lot of money goes into making apps.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So
yeah,
be patient with us. We're working on it. Still on the up and up. We haven't been doing it a year. Just year might be coming up in August.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what we're currently trying to get together. So
okay.
But a lot of positive feedback.
That's awesome. That's really exciting.
Thank you.
So you said no events right now, like just follow your page to keep up with that?
Yeah, I do have a lot of events, but they're private events. A lot of stuff that I've been doing in the past couple years have been private events.
Okay.
So people will come out and hear me somewhere, and they'll book me for somebody's graduation or a prom. Like I got a couple proms coming up.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So usually the public events turn into the private events.
Yeah.
And of course I can't invite everybody to the private events, so I just kind of keep that, on the low out of respect for the people hiring me.
Right.
So
that's awesome. So give us a little life advice. Give us something to leave with.
Life advice. Let's see.
Going from like funny guy to like loving guy, like I don't know, vulnerable. Anything about life that's like, I didn't really grow up like this, but this is the change and this is the cycle we're breaking. And
yeah, well, kind of what we were talking about earlier. Just telling your loved ones that you love them because, we recently had a major incident that happened in the hip hop community, and there's probably a bunch of people who wanted to reach out to that said person to tell them, hey, I love you, I'm thinking about you, give that person a hug, and now you don't have that opportunity because they're no longer with us. So if it's somebody you've been thinking about, came across your mind, came across your Instagram or Facebook, whether it's a comment, a call, a text, just tell them you love them. Or tell them you've been thinking about them, you miss them. Give people the flowers while they can still smell them,
Yeah. One last thing that I wanted to say about that was that something that you had brought up that was interesting to me is you brought up the fact that you've never lost anybody close to you.
Oh yeah, yeah, I've never lost anybody who was super super close to me. The closest relative I've lost was like an aunt, but our relationship kind of wasn't on good terms. Closer to the end of her life, but it's nothing like real bad because she was going through some stuff,
Right.
so she wasn't all the way herself. So I can't be mad at her for that. But yeah, I don't know how I'm going to react because I am emotional. So like.
Yeah, but what I think that is beautiful is how much you already appreciate that, how much you already appreciate life without ever experiencing like the real deep hurt of like losing somebody close. That you're already so appreciative of that. That's really beautiful. And honestly, it takes a lot of people death to appreciate that and to like be like, wow, I really do should tell people I love them every day. Or if I feel it, I should call them. Like a lot of times it takes people to experience like tragedy to realize that and to really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful thing that you already appreciate it. And it's like not that death is like it's messed up because it's the only thing we're guaranteed. It's like losing somebody, there's like nothing that compares to that at all. But it's going to be beautiful how much you appreciate life after that too. Like because you already appreciate it so much, like it's like crazy, like I don't know.
Yeah, it's a interesting like because like you said, a lot of people don't realize it till somebody's going how much they appreciate life. Like I just look at my grandparents as the ultimate example. Who in 2019 can say their grandparents have lived to their 90s?
Right.
Like
Not me.
And these are people that sacrificed their retirement so that I could be cool. They weren't taking vacations and doing the typical stuff they tell you to do. Once you retire, collect your pension, 65, go on a cruise, go to the Grand Canyon on a hover round or whatever they advertising on TV. So it's just like for me to see them sacrifice their lives for just little old Wavey Moe, they got it. If no matter what they need me for, I'm there.
Right.
No questions.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, a little emotional, but try to hold back my thug tear.
I really love your grandparents.
Oh, definitely.
I love that. That's awesome. So really the advice is just tell people you love them.
Yeah, tell people you love them.
Okay. So everybody can follow you at DJ Wavey Moe on Instagram, Facebook?
Yep.
Twitter?
Yep. Snapchat.
Yeah.
DJWaveyMoe.com.
Okay, you have your own website?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
We keep it professional, so that's how we get the corporate events.
Okay. I love that. That's awesome. So you're open for booking for any type of event, really?
Almost any type of event.
What ones are you not?
I'm not doing weddings anymore.
Why?
Because it's just like, I don't get enjoyment of weddings.
That's how I felt about photography. People want me to do their weddings, and I'm like, no, it's too much pressure, and it's like.
Yeah, it's just like, the first wedding I did, they gave me the wrong order to call the people out on. And it's just like.
Oh yeah.
When it's just the music aspect, perfect.
Yeah.
When you want me to make announcements and do all that, if it's like not somebody I'm super close with, it's kind of a difficult thing just because it's like, it's just really not my MO to do too much talking. I just show my actions on the tables and have it rocking. But weddings are like, I enjoy being at them, not working them.
Right.
So everything but weddings.
Okay. I feel that 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. Dope. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. That is Positive with Lolo.